Monday Morning Marketing Podcast is brought to you by Esther of IPA Group, bringing premier online promotion to your business.
And Melanie of Stomp Social Media Training, who empowers business owners to manage social media and marketing for themselves.
Welcome back to the podcast and happy Monday. We're delighted to be back in your ears. Not many people can say that. It's really quite funny. Anyway, moving on. Today we're going to be talking about, do you know the difference between your CPM from your CRM? All these jargony slang type words that we keep on hearing in our industry and in our particular niches can be a bit of a head wreck. So today, myself and Esther are going to try and go through some of the more common ones. So Esther, why don't you start us off?
But first, here's a quick message from our sponsor.
Get ready to be a social media superstar with Feed Alpha. Their friendly AI and super simple tools make it a breeze to see what your followers are into. That means you can post the cool stuff they love, right when they're most likely to see it. Check out feedalpha.com to find out more and take your social media to the next level.
Right, so we'll start with the ones in the title. So CPM, cost per mil, not cost per million, cost per thousand. So it should be CPT. Anyway, it's talking about ad spend, how much it costs you to be seen by 1,000 people or to get 1,000 clicks. So that's your CPM, your cost per mil.
And your CRM?
Your CRM is your customer relationship manager, which is totally different. One letter makes such a difference. And those are your things like your HubSpot or your, that's where I have mine would be HubSpot, where you have all your customer information and how they found you and how, if you've been sending emails to them. It's basically your funnel to show that these people have contacted you or you have contacted them and you've sent them emails or information. To get back to you, they have to send you information back. All of these things can all be concentrated in one place rather than having them scattered across your emails and you're going, what happened there now? So yes, that's your CRM, your customer relationship manager.
And then I've got a couple. I've got CTA, which is call to action. And that's what we should be actively more using in our social media posts, telling people to click now, learn more, buy now, share.
Contact me.
Exactly. There's lots of different ways that you can add quite politely calls to action, but very few people tend to. They just post and hope.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got KPIs, which is key performance indicator. Now, this is more used for when you're analyzing your data, which all of you should be. And your key performance indicator can differ depending on what you or your client finds importance. So some people want to have, high impressions. Other people want to have more views of a certain video, or it could be clicks to a website or to a particular page on the website. So a key performance indicator is quite a personal thing depending on the type of marketing campaign you're doing.
Okay. I'm going to use one that we talked about a couple of episodes ago called SEO, Search Engine Optimization. It's to modify your website and make it more searchable and search friendly, so that you get seen more online more easily by more people and you get higher up on the Google rankings because of your SEO.
You've also got click-through rate, CTR. And that CTR is, again, an element of a KPI, a key performance indicator. And that's when you're monitoring how many people literally click onto that button. Or maybe it's in an app, or maybe it's on a website as well. So you can measure both. And with that information, you can establish if people have gone through a whole buyer journey and gone through to this particular page or to this particular cart.
Mm-hmm. We have B2B and B2C, which is your business to business sales that you would make if your customers are businesses, you're a B2B, and then B2C is business to customer. So if you're selling to the general public, that is a B2C.
That makes actually perfect sense. Now, one that I was less familiar with until I actually ran my own business and had my own website, and that was CMS, or a content management system. And this is for it's like a dashboard for website creation and management. Normally, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but normally it's like a template based type of thing. It's not where you add code and take away code, and you're not coding the website. It's where you can literally just plug in information. It's basically a dashboard for dummies on your website.
I wouldn't really put it that way, but it's an easy place for you to add information onto your website. I would then add PPC, which is pay per click. Again, going back to your adverts, you will pay for the number of clicks that people do. So we had Miriam on the podcast a few months ago now.
Hmm.
Very popular episode. Go back and listen to it. She explains all about PPC. So that's pay per click.
Then we've got CRO, which is a conversion rate optimization. And this is the process of increasing the percentage of users or website visitors who take a particular or desired action on the website. So it's not too dissimilar to the previous one I was mentioning, but it's another jargony way of measuring conversion rates.
Yeah. And then you have CPA or CPL, which is your cost per acquisition or cost per lead. So it's the amount of money that you spend in order to obtain a client. So that could be ad spend, it could be your overheads, your office, your heating, your lighting, your blog maintenance, your website, all of that could be included in your CPA, cost per acquisition, or CPL, cost per lead.
Now, all we've been mentioning so far is all the abbreviated sort of 3-letter type things, but there's lots of different language that people use as jargon. So can you think of any that just kind of hits us there, that may be less understandable than others?
A/B testing.
Yeah, good one.
A lot of people sort of forget to, they just, again, it could be ads, or it could be your blog titles, or it could be images as well. So A/B testing is when you use two different, like I said, titles, or two different images, or two different ad groups, and you send out the information to those two different ones, and then you monitor which one works better. So I only recommend changing one thing at a time when you're doing A/B testing. So if you want to test which image works better, use two different images with the same audience. If you want to test which text works better, use two different texts with the same audience.
When we record, I swear you're sitting in a field because all I can hear is birds.
I do live in the middle of the countryside.
Sorry, the middle of nowhere, did you say? What was that?
Yeah, no, that's you. That's you.
Okay. So what about inbound marketing? This kind of blew my mind the first couple of times I heard this. I even went to whole events about inbound and then separate ones about outbound. But I'm just going to cover inbound right now. And this focuses on improving incoming or inbound traffic to your company's website. A lot of these jargony things are down to websites, aren't they, Esther?
They are. Your website is key to your marketing. It's the one place that you actually own. So your website should be front and central to all of it. But inbound marketing is very important. But how do you? It's where people come to you instead of you going to them. And in order for them to find you, you need to have good SEO. You need to have good
Compelling
content.
really good, clear, answers the problems that people are experiencing, answering the pain point with compelling content rather than advertising in this
Yes,
instance.
and you need to have good CTAs, call to actions, on those websites with a button to for them to click to download or to sign up or whatever you want them to do.
You got another one?
I do. So pixels.
Oh God, yeah.
Pixels are the bane of our existence. Now, I'm not talking about pixels as in images and the sizing. You're talking about tracking pixels, which is what Facebook was one of the first ones to talk about, tracking your pixel through. If you set up an event or a thing on Facebook and you want to link it to your website, then the way for Facebook to know who has clicked and for your website to know who has come from Facebook, you set up a pixel so that then you could merge those two audiences together. It's very useful, but it's a pain to set up. Let's just be honest. And most people don't, but you really should.
Well, it marries so much together, doesn't it? From Facebook
It
to the
does.
website, and you need
It
to put the
does.
code on the website as well. You need to put it in the right place, and
Yeah.
so it involves a lot
Yeah.
of working together with your website
Yes.
designer.
But if you're then going to be running ads, it's very important to have that, because then you can segment your audience more and you can retarget, which is another jargony word that people just love to throw around. So retargeting is sharing the message or a different message with the same audience or the audience that was most interested in your previous campaigns. You're just narrowing it down and rehoning.
Do you know, I feel like we're going on the naughty side of marketing now, because
Why?
because all the stuff, all the painful, awkward, complicated stuff. And I'm not going to make this any better either, because now I'm going to talk about outbound marketing, which is also referred to by some people in the know as interruption marketing.
What?
And this is because you are promoting a product or a service through continued advertising and promotions and public relations and sales. And basically, you're just nagging your audience into, beating them down and giving you their money.
Please don't beat them down. They're nice people that we want their money from.
But you see it all the time. You see, especially the larger brands doing it. Especially when they're doing like a new, updated product or service, and they want people to know that this is new. It's not the same thing anymore. And that's when they kind of do the big splurge marketing of everywhere on everything all the time, and you feel like you're just being overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to talk about something that we both hate with a passion.
Go on.
GDPR.
Oh my God.
So it's a General Data Protection Regulation. It's a European regulation that came into effect on Melanie's birthday back in 2016, and she hasn't been able to
Was it really
celebrate.
2016?
Yeah, she hasn't been able to celebrate her birthday happily ever
Wow.
since. Now, as consumers, we love GDPR because it protects our data. But as marketers, it's really annoying because all that retargeting goes straight out the window.
You see, I've embraced it now, because although it basically halved my email list on my birthday back then, I actually like the fact that the people that are on my email list want to be there, are considerably more engaged, and I don't know, I feel like I've got a stronger rapport with them.
Yeah, so your CTR has gone up.
Can you hear that in the background?
The birds, yeah.
Somebody is playing. You can't hear that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can hear that.
You can tell, guys, that this was not planned. Somebody's playing bagpipes behind me. Seriously.
It's really random.
In the public square in Ireland.
Mullingar.
Go figure.
But going back to our GDPR, even if you are outside the European Union, if you have people that live in the EU on your email lists, you also need to adhere to the rules and regulations. So make sure that you are compliant, because it has been, as we say, since 2016, and there's no excuse not to be.
You may also hear the term buyer's journey brought up. It's something we actually don't pay enough attention to, I don't think, because we're always thinking of awareness, consideration, and conversion. But there's so much more going on than that. A full buyer's journey takes you from how they found you in the first place all the way down to actually converting and buying the product. So, because what search terms they're using, with whether using a referral partner or an affiliate link. There's just so many different ways that people can come across your product or service in the first place. So a buyer's journey is taking it from their perspective, whereas we're normally talking about a marketing funnel, which is from our perspective.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to end with ROI.
Oh, good one.
Return on investment. So similar to your cost per acquisition or cost per lead, you want to see how much money is coming back in based on what you have spent
Mm-hmm.
in order to get it. So again, you're looking at ad spend, you're looking overheads, you're looking at all your expenses compared to what has come in. That is your return on investment. If you spend $10 on an ad and gain 50 clients spending $100 each, that's a really good ROI.
Mm.
If you spend $10 on ads and you get 0 people, that's not a good ROI.
No, I can totally believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you can think of any others that we need to cover, by all means, send us a message through our socials or email us from our website at themondaymorningmarketing.com. And we hope you found this useful. We did actually have a couple of people bring this up in conversation with us recently, so hence why we were updating our latest jargon meter. We're going to be back next week with another podcast. So, Esther, why don't you see us out with your wild imaginings and creative juices?
I'm wondering why there's a bagpiper in the middle of your town in the middle of Ireland. That's random, very bizarre. But yes, as Melanie says, we will be back next week with more Monday morning marketing. And until then, bye-bye.
Bye. And I'm still finding this confusing. I think we're going to have to move back to you starting and me ending, because I'm kind of doing both and it's really confusing.
No, it's fine. You continue to do both. You
Eek.
don't need me.
The Monday Morning Marketing Podcast, brought to you by Melanie Boylan.
Has a ring to it, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Melanie's Monday morning marketing.